Okay. Okay, so okay. So quite a while ago, I decided to test AI on something because I saw if you ask it if there is a seahorse emoji, because there isn't one, and there's posts on Mandela Effect saying, "Are you sure there was a seahorse emoji?" And it just says, "Oh, it's this. No, it's this. These are the seahorse emojis, and none of them is a seahorse emoji." But I asked it to make a Rust program that makes a Fluffy Bird clone. If you don't know what that means, it doesn't really matter that much. I do, so that's the main point. So it starts off good, it adds Raylib to the dependencies. But okay, you don't need that, but I'm just gonna, you should never do this, by the way. You should never run code on your machine that you don't know what it does. But I'm going to run this code real quick. Okay, so I just opened this in my code editor. I'm gonna add it to my dependencies. After this is done, as you can see here, Raylib is in the dependencies. And I'm just gonna copy the entire main file. Okay. Alright. Now let's wait for my ID to check the code, see if there's any errors, right? There's no possible way that this is not configured right. This is like a very basic setup. There's no possible way that ChatGPT got this wrong, right? Oh, would you look at that? 6 errors. Okay, I'm just gonna make it so, I'm just gonna get this to run, alright, so that I can show you. Okay, he's got that way around as well. It's not really he, is it? Okay, now can I show you something real quick? Alright. So, in here, this function that he calls returns a Raylib draw handle, a data structure that you can call functions in that draw to the screen. Quite simple, don't worry if you don't understand it. Now, if I go to where it says in the most simple place what you're supposed to do, this is what you're supposed to do for drawing. Set a variable to the output with thread, and use that variable to draw to the screen. There is no drawing functions in the Raylib handle. There is in the Raylib draw handle. So we're just going to fix that. And oh, what's that? You don't need to do that. This was the best practice to encapsulate this in a separate code block, so that at the end of the code block you can use RL again. Oh, would you look at that? You need to use a float, not an integer. Alright, oh, will you look at that? Bird isn't mutable. Oh, would you look at that? That isn't used. And that is the most useless thing to do, and it makes no sense. You can literally just do bird.position.y. You don't. If you set a variable to bird.position.y, that variable is not a pointer to bird.position.y. That variable will not update based on what bird.position.y is. That bird.y variable will be what bird.position.y was when bird_y was set to that, so that it's useless, and also it's used nowhere in the code. So yeah. Okay, now that I've fixed this up, I'm gonna run it. If it will work. Taking a while. Rest isn't the fastest to compile. Oh, would you look at that? Where's the circle that's meant to be drawn? The yellow circle, where is it gone? Oh, I know. It's because he doesn't cap the FPS, and every time the bird updates, every single frame, at possibly thousands of frames per second, it changes the position by the velocity, which gets the gravity, which is 0.5. In this case, positive is down. So every frame it adds to the velocity, which then adds to the position. So it just exponentially goes down really, 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 really fast. So how you would fix this? One line of code. Oh, would you look at that? It's working. That is how stupid ChatGPT's mistakes are. And for some reason, he limits the top of the screen, but not the bottom. And also, in a Flappy Bird game, if you touch the top, you would want to die. It would be a game over, not, oh, sorry, that's the ceiling, so you're just going to bump your head. Oh no, the end. That's not how Flappy Bird works. Can you see how stupid this is? Okay. Also, nowhere does this bird need to be printed out. That's first of all. Second of all, why isn't this public? That just makes sense to be public, okay? So does that. And so does that. And also this should be in a separate file anyway, this whole bird thing. This makes no sense to be in the main file. And also, if you want to have your own logging system, you probably want to set the log level to warnings, so Raylib only logs warnings. Because you can see here, I haven't done any logging, and Raylib just shouts out, oh, I loaded this, I did this texture, I did this, I did that. And you don't need to know that. You really don't. So you set it to warning for your own logging. And also, second of all, why is there a separate function for jumping? And why is this not in the bird update function? It's this easy. If you want to have a separate jump function, all you need to do is add immutable reference to the Raylib handle as an input, and then use that to ask if it's doing that. And then we can just do RL in there. And oh, would you look at that? It works, and it's tidier. There is literally no performance decreases to this. There's no reason to not do this. It's just more organized. It's just better. Okay. And also the fact that it thinks a bird is a fucking circle as well. And also, it's also better practice to have a function in the bird that does draw with a non-mutable reference to self and a mutable reference to raylib draw handle, which I'm going to call that D. But in that, we do the same code, and it's just more tidy, and it's even cleaner in the main file, so you can just do bird.draw. Not all this, it's way tidier. Oh, well, look at that, I made a tiny little mistake. I can just do self.position. Okay. It's that easy. There is no performance losses. This is just better and more fucking tidy. Can you not see at this point how dumb AI is? Yes, I have more lines of code. Previously there were 68. Yes, it's more code. But, like, have you just stopped to think? 8 errors, I think that was, in this code. Here. Yeah, it was only like 60 something lines of code. But just because something has less lines of code doesn't mean it's going to be better. And just because something has less of lines of code doesn't mean it's not going to have 8 fucking errors. And it's going to have a bunch of stupid errors. There's a reason why people don't like AI. And there's a reason why people are pushing back. There's a reason why people want other people to think that AI is the next big thing. But really, it's the next big retard. It's the next big thing to make people dumber. First came radios, then TVs, then the internet with doom scrolling and social media, and now AI. There just seems to always have to be one thing to make the stupid people stupider and the smart people smarter.